attractive with my hacking iron lung. Ooh, it's bright. God, it's really bright. It's beautiful today. Oh my gosh. It is 7 o'clock on Wednesday night, and I just got home from day 1 of week 2 of my stage at Cuoco, the Italian joint, the Tom Douglas Italian restaurant, with Matt Fortner, who is blowing my mind every day that I'm there with him. He's hilarious. He's a great teacher, and oh my God, I cannot believe I spent the entire day elbow deep, knee deep in breaking down all of these hogs. And I know that I sound awful, I know. I'm really hoarse because I kept asking questions the whole time. So today, I videotaped as much as I could of the start to finish of breaking down the hogs. So it was Wednesday, so I broke down the 2 hogs that they were like 78 and 89 pounds each for porchetta. So I deboned them all the way, cut off the trotters, and got those ready for smoking, and took all the bones out, and then, you know, put them into the Lexans and got them into the walk-in. Did both of those. The second one took less time. Fortner was giving me a really hard time because the first one, it's been a week since I've done them, and it took me a little bit of time to remember what I was doing. So fine, whatever. But he loves to give me a hard time. He loves to bust my chops, and I got in at 9:59. He told me to be there at 10, and I know I'm supposed to be 5 minutes early, so I'm working really hard on being better about that. But I had to go to the doctor this morning for my voice. At any rate, I got in there at 9:59, and he looked through the pass-through, and he goes, "Staj, you're late. I need to get you an alarm clock." So anyway, I wish I had that on tape, but I got some good little notes from him today throughout the day, which was awesome. And then, after we broke down the 2 regular porchetta hogs, he had ordered this last week, this big hog, and it came in today. It was like just shy of 230 pounds. And today we did what's called primal cut. So we took the entire whole hog, hadn't been split in half or anything, and he walked me through cutting it down into these larger cuts that then you can do different things with. So we still ended up taking out all the ribs and splitting the back into halves, and we left all the rib meat. I think we're going to cure that. So I believe tomorrow we will start the process for curing all the different cuts. So he walked me verbally through a little bit of some of that today, but it'll be a whole different animal, no pun intended, food pun, tomorrow. He said today, your entire life for the next week will be consumed with this animal. And I'm excited because I'm going to learn how to do some cures that I haven't had a chance to do yet, and I think it's going to be really awesome to learn that now, because I'm sure I'll see it again when I get out to Europe, and what I really want to be able to do is know some of the basic technique, some of the basic ingredients and formulas and times and weights and measures that go into that. So when I'm out there and I see additional techniques, I'll be able to toggle that and volley that against what I already know, and also if there's a language barrier, I'll be able to understand some of it if I don't understand what it is they're saying to me. So that was really cool. And then, before I left, we pulled out my terrine that I had made last week. It was my first terrine, and we unmolded it. So we took it out of the long enamel Le Creuset that we had it cooked in, and it's been sitting in the fridge in the walk-in since, I guess that was Sunday, so 3 days. And we unmolded it, unrolled it, scraped off some of the natural gelatin that occurs when you cook the meat confit like that, and then we rolled it out, and it totally looked like it was holding together. So like, take a deep breath, because when you cut into the terrine, that's when the proof is really there whether or not you built it correctly. So with a terrine, because of course it's ground meat, and then you have all these garnishes that are essentially the fillings. So if you imagine it's like a meat fruit cake, if you don't know what a terrine is, and except very fancy and takes a lot of time to build. And you have to make sure that none of the garnishes touch, because if you don't get the ground pork and fat in between those garnishes, it basically it breaks the integrity of the product and the loaf, and so when you slice into it, it will crumble and fall apart, which is the opposite of what you want in a terrine. So anyway, my first terrine, he cut into it and it held. It looked fine. We actually ended up not flipping it out to have the true top, which when you bake it, it's the bottom. We had the baked top be the top because we liked the coloration better of the pancetta. We tasted it. I would have liked it to be a little bit saltier, and as would Fortner, but we both agreed that we can just put some finishing salt on it when it's served. He's going to put it on the menu tomorrow. My homework is to come up with some sort of a set that we can put with that on the charcuterie menu. So I need to think about some things that have some acid and some brightness and some crunch to kind of help complement the terrine and the way that it is rich and smooth and nutty and you know, a little bit salty and fatty. So in thinking about that, I'm going to come up with a few ideas tonight. I'm thinking maybe something with rhubarb, because rhubarb's in season right now. Maybe something with a little bit of fresh celery that's shaved. I don't know. I'm going to throw some ideas around, maybe some frisee. I don't want to go too off the wall, but I also don't want it to be predictable. So I'm going to do some reading tonight, which I'm really excited about, and maybe pull some you know, recipes that I've got laying around the house and kind of read through some books and see if something strikes my fancy, so we can try something tomorrow. So anyway, I'm excited to do that with him tomorrow, as well as starting to get the cures pulled together for all these huge cuts that we did. So now, and I walked to the store on my way home, which is the worst because I'm hungry but I'm exhausted, so I don't want to cook, but I can't really think straight. So I got a little bit of food, wait, where is it? Right there. But mostly it was just staples that I needed, some fruit for the morning, some eggs for the morning. Oh, and now somehow I tricked myself into making fresh baked scones tomorrow, because the guys were bitching about not having, they don't think the scones are good because they've had scones and they don't think they're that great. And I know that I do a pretty good scone, and I have some of my homemade marmalade, so I'm going to take that tomorrow for breakfast, because they were in disbelief that a scone could be as good as a biscuit, and I think mine are. So we'll see. I guess they'll be the judge of that tomorrow morning. So I'm going to be there at 9, bright and early, with my scones and my marmalade and my willingness to get put to the test again. So it'll be a good day. I'm super stoked. I'm going to take what's left of the sunshine and go for a run and go get my antibiotics from the pharmacy for the sinus infection that will not quit, and it is the most annoying. So anyway, I had a great day. I'm super stoked, and I can't wait for tomorrow. That's all. See you tomorrow.